Okay, this is the old man Jim here. Now there's a few things need to get off my chest for things I've seen on Facebook and YouTube. And before I even start, yes, I am a ordained minister. Yeah, I'm in a t-shirt and jeans right now, but obviously I'm not working or anything. And one thing that's been bothering me for years when people say, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." Okay, there is a point where that makes sense. However, that is a miss. Well, it is a bad take on Matthew 7:1. The whole thing about it is actually not just Matthew 7:1, which just basically says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged," which is not the whole thing. And I'm taking a sip for a point. The whole scripture is Matthew 7:1 to 5. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 to 5. But I'm just going to break it down at the Barney level for everybody. It does not prohibit judgment. It prohibits hypocritical judgment. I'm going to use an example. We condemn murderers, rapists, child predators, people like that, right? Guess what you're doing? You're judging. If you took Matthew 7:1 the way a lot of people think it needs to be taken, then you couldn't even judge them. However, when you think about it, that's not what Matthew 7:1 means. It's hypocritical. That's what it's against. Hypocritical judgment. Judge me for my dress. Wearing a Star. I'm a minister. I'm wearing a Star Wars T-shirt and a pair of jeans and drinking a beer. However, I'm at my own home. I am not driving. So, if I choose to imbibe a beer and you judge me for that, you're a hypocrite. Especially if you've ever imbibed a beer in your life. You judge me for wearing a T-shirt and jeans as a minister. But you've worn other clothing other than, a suit and tie and everything. You're a hypocrite. The whole point is, do not judge me for my clothing. Do not judge me for a beverage I choose to imbibe at my own home, without me being able to judge you on your clothing, your choice of beverage. I'm very tempted to become a church minister. I would do it in a heartbeat, and I will if I get the offer and say, "Hey, you're an ordained minister. We'd like to have you be the pastor of our church for," well, I'm not going to say millions of dollars. Obviously, I would never take that kind of a thing. I would just want enough money to, pay my house, because I wouldn't live at the pastor's house. I would just want enough money to, cover my bills and have a little extra. But the big thing that's been bothering me lately is people being hypocrites and saying, "Well, you can't judge other people unless you've lived that life." It's like, that's not what Matthew 7:1 to 5 means. Please stop saying it that way. Because you're being a hypocrite just simply by saying that. And it's just something that's been on my chest for a while, and I've been thinking about it. And I just have watched a lot of things where people are saying, Judge not lest ye be judged. No, well, that's not really what Matthew 7:1 means. It's also like the commandment where people interpret it as thou shalt not kill, and that is not what it means. That specific commandment does not say kill. It's a mistranslation from the original Aramaic into Hebrew and then into English, where murder was translated to kill. The commandment does not say thou shalt not kill. It never has. It never will. It simply says thou shalt not murder. If I kill somebody who's breaking into my house or my neighbor's house, and because I think they're about to do harm, that is not murder. That is simply defense. All right, I'm going to let everybody go because I got to flip a steak and have some good potatoes. Y'all have a good day. I love you, and God bless you.